I'm back. Yeah, baby. Did you miss me? I missed you. Yes, I missed you, Crossout. Who's a good free-to-play game? You are. Yes, you are, Crossout. You're a good game. Yeah, I've been getting withdrawals for not playing for 8 days, which has been a bit annoying because it looked like I wasn't going to be able to complete the Steel Championship mini-season. Oh, frustration. But I've got good news on that front. The daily challenges stack. Unlike the big chase season where the daily challenges are use them or lose them, Steel Championship, they stack up. So I've got a whole pile of them to complete, and therefore I can complete the season and get my cheap retro work pieces, which are near the end. Talking of retros, I'm currently running a competition for non-retro builds. Details on my Discord server. Why haven't I been able to play Crossout for 8 days? Well, mostly it's because I've been in hell. Windows upgrade hell, which is not a nice place, I can tell you. But that's jumping ahead of myself. Let's start at the beginning of the story. It was a fine, crisp autumn morning and I felt like playing on the Crossout market, so I ran Crossout and it crashed. Yeah. And it took Windows with it. Well, that's not good. Well, I'll reboot Windows, try again. Nope, same thing, crash. Or rather, Easy Anti-Cheat crashed, I noticed that time, because I started the launcher, Easy Anti-Cheat started loading up, and before the progress bar had finished, and Crossout proper had launched, crash, taking Windows with it. Not good, but I wasn't too worried at that point, because I've seen this before. Because Easy Anti-Cheat is updated frequently to thwart those nasty old hackers, and it pokes around in the operating system, that brings it into conflict with the virus checker, and that can cause crashes, and it happened before. But after a couple of days they updated the antivirus updated, or Easy Anti-Cheat updated, and Crossout was running smoothly again. So I wasn't too worried. I'll try again tomorrow. Tried again the next day, crash, and the next day, crash, and the next day, crash. Let's have a look see what the antivirus is saying about this. Oh, the antivirus isn't working and it's not updating. Why is that? Because they've stopped supporting it on Windows 7. Because Microsoft has stopped supporting Windows 7 operating system. Oh, poop. Well, I could delete the antivirus and then go and try Crossout again, but that's not a long-term fix. That's not a good idea. You know, you're rolling the dice every time you connect to the internet, and you've got no protection if you meet something nasty. So that's no good. I'm gonna have to upgrade. Oh well, Windows 11, here we come. Right, where do I get some installation discs? How much? You gotta be kidding me. Oh man. Oh, and it's not gonna work anyway, because Windows 11 demands some security hardware, and my motherboard is so old it's not gonna have it. Great, I'm stuffed. Oh no, wait, here's an article telling me I can upgrade from 7 to 10 for free. Because I got a legitimate version of Windows 7, I've still got the Windows key and everything, so I can just upgrade. Okay, well, we'll do that then. Go to this page on Microsoft, download the installation files, put them on a USB. Oh yeah, USBs have got so big recently, you can fit a whole Windows installation on a USB key. That's handy. Don't have to burn multiple DVDs. Okie dokie. Right, now before I upgrade the operating system, it's a good idea to make sure you can get back to the operating system you had before. Now where's my Windows 7 installation disk? Can't find it. Poop. Oh, doesn't matter. I can go to Microsoft and download it from them. Download the information from them and put it on a USB and have a bootable USB. I'll be fine. Oh. Microsoft don't provide those files anymore because Windows 7 is out of support. Nobody possibly be using it still. Right, that means I've got no safety net. If I try to install Windows 10 and it goes wrong, I'm stuffed. Absolutely stuffed. But I haven't got any other options, so let's cross my fingers and push the button and go to the install. And it goes waiting. Oh, this is going to take ages. Right, turn the monitor off, go do something else. Come back after an hour or two, and it's crashed. The install has crashed. But it's alright, because it's rolled itself back to Windows 7. Oh, where I had before. So I haven't got a knackered system, so I didn't need the Windows 7 safety installation disk as a safety net after all. So that's one plus point for Windows 10 there. Jolly good. But they've got these errors. I'll look at the errors on the internet, find a solution, do that, try again. Crashes again while it's installing. Oh, great. But it's rolled back. What are the errors this time? Oh, something. Look it up on the internet. The solution is to delete these keys out of the registry. Oh, you're kidding me? The registry's awful. The worst idea Microsoft have had in a long time. Because it puts all these settings and information into the registry, stuff that the operating system needs to use to work properly, and every application, every Tom, Dick and Harry application is supposed to put its stuff in there too, so it's got access. So it can get at your Windows registry, and it can get at the settings for your operating system and muck up your operating system so that it crashes. What a fantastic plan. What a great idea. Idiots. But anyway, I edited the registry and managed not to muck it up. Installed again, and it worked. Hey, I'm in Windows 10. Huzzah! Right, first thing to do, new antivirus. In the process of getting that, and Windows 10 crashes. Giving a K mode exception not handled error. Okay, booted up into safe mode. Doesn't crash, quite stable, working fine. Okay, so that means it's some program or some driver that's causing the crash. Let's try diagnostic mode. Works for a little bit, then crashes. Okay, let's try Microsoft's clean boot, which is where you stop all the third-party services and you stop all the third-party applications that run on startups. So it's only Microsoft stuff, because Microsoft stuff doesn't crash. No, it's always somebody else's fault, isn't it, Microsoft? Yes. Try that. Crash. Poop. And I noticed, but I did have time to notice, that Windows Update is running and installing more and more stuff, which you don't want, because I'm trying to narrow things down to work out what's causing the crash, and it's putting more and more stuff on there for me to go through. So I boot up again, and it stays up long enough for me to get into the Windows Update settings, and just about to try and turn it off and crash. Oh, great. So I had to go back to Windows Safe mode, go to the services, stop the Windows Update service. Right, now boot into it. Maybe it was Windows Update causing the problem. Because well, let's go back to Windows 10 normal, and it's running, it's crashed. Oh, great. So it wasn't that. So it's something that in the Windows system, or something that Windows is uploading. I've got a whole list of services to go through and find out what they do, and can I stop them, and Windows 10 will still run, and if it becomes stable, then it knows that. Well, that's going to take ages. And I've had quite a few crashes by at this point, so maybe it's probably a good idea if I run check disk and check everything's hunky-dory in the file system. Run check disk. I can't run on C because Windows is using it. But I can schedule to check the disk on boot and fix things errors there. Okay, let's do that. Off we go. And up it comes. Not on the command prompt like I'm used to, but the Windows 10 logo comes up. So Windows 10 is at least a bare bones set of Windows 10 is actually running, and it's chuntering away, giving me all the check disk details, checking this, all found an error here, fixed that, and then it crashes with the same K mode exception not handled error. The problems with the Windows files, somewhere deep in the Windows system operating system, there's something wrong and it's causing crashes. Oh, knackers. This is going to be painful. Then I tried DISM, a utility which is supposed to be able to check all your Windows systems files one by one, and then if they're knackered, replace them. Okay, we'll do that. I couldn't get that to run. Could never find the source files. And I looked it up, and it's because by default, well, with one set of flags, it goes to Windows Updater to try and get the files to replace them. And Updater was causing the crash. Well, it was crashing at that point, and I turned it off, so that didn't work. Oh, but you can get it from the installation files from the USB. Okay, I'll try that. Still didn't find them. It still said complaint is I can't find the source files. Oh, there's multiple installs in there. You got to tell it which one it's supposed to use. Work out which one it is, yeah, and tell it, and off you go. Nope. And then I noticed, hang about, those version numbers are different. The image and this other one it gives, but it doesn't really tell you what it is. So it seems that the version of Windows I've got installed is different from the Windows version that's on the USB, which I've just installed it from. So how can they be? So I give off on that for a while and try something else. I tried the verifier. I tried memory checker to see if there's any errors on my memory. And everything I seem to try, I'll look up, find another thing I could try off the internet, because fortunately safe mode is still running quite happily. So look up a solution, try that solution, it gives an error. I'll find out what's wrong with that, try and fix that error, and then try the original solution again. It still doesn't do anything. I'm still crashing in Windows 10 normal mode. And this is day 4 by this point, and I'm starting to tear my hair out. I was running out of things to try by this point, so I thought, update the BIOS. I would have done that earlier, but I discounted it, because the BIOS I was running was from 2011. The latest update for the BIOS was 2012, and Windows 10 was released 3 years later in 2015. So how could an update from 2012 fix problems in Windows 10, which was released 3 years later? That's silly. That's not going to do. But I was getting desperate, so I just tried. Let's do it. Let's update the BIOS to get the latest version. So off I trotted to asus.com to get the latest BIOS. Got that, stuck it on the USB, well actually on the hard drive, and on USB for safety in case anything went wrong and I needed to, and then went into the BIOS and got, oh, I can make a backup of it, of the one I've currently got that's working for Windows 7 at any rate. So I copied that, made a backup, copied that out, put the new file in, and not an EFI BIOS, it rejected it with that error. It's like, great. Okay, back to asus.com, get the next one, try that. Integrity check failed, refused to install that as a BIOS update. Great, are you giving me duff files or something? Back to asus.com. We suggest you try your localized website, asus.co.uk. Okay, maybe the motherboards they sold in the UK were slightly different and need a slightly different BIOS or firmware. Okay, well, I try them. I get all of them that are available, down to the ones that came after the one I've currently got. None of them worked. Now I'm getting a bit desperate, so I go back to asus.com and then get all of those as well and start trying those, an earlier one. And then I finally got one that the BIOS accepted and flashed the BIOS, and that one update was from 2012. Then I crossed my fingers, booted into Windows 10 normal mode, and it didn't crash. Waited a bit long, still not crashing. Got the latest drivers for my graphics card from Nvidia, still not crashing. Ooh. Get the latest, get a new install for virus checker. That's still not crashing, and it hasn't crashed since. So it was, after all, the BIOS. The BIOS firmware update from 2012 that fixed the Windows 10 crashing when Windows 10 was released 3 years later. So 4 days, 4 full days. I mean, I ate and I slept and I went to the supermarket to get some more food, but I didn't do anything else really for 4 days, and I finally got back to a stable version of Windows, and I can do all the things I did before. I play Crossout, so I'm back, baby. It's been painful and not really worthwhile, because there's nothing in Windows 10 that I wanted or needed, and I'm just doing the same things I did before. And I suppose the only benefit is I've got a working antivirus now. That is a good point, but I don't turn on my PC in order to run my antivirus. No, I turn on my PC in order to run play Crossout and other games and stuff. So it's been a painful 8 days. Problematic 8 days. Also, I've thought of another benefit. I can now give Roblox a good try, because Roblox requires Windows 10 and I was on Windows 7, so I couldn't try it. So maybe I'll have some Roblox videos in the near future. Who knows? But anyway, I am back, and that's the story of my last week. It's taken me 4 days to upgrade to Windows 10, and I'm not done yet. I haven't turned Windows Updater back on yet, and when I do, there'll be a load more things coming down the pipe to cause problems. And I've just noticed I've got an Activate Windows notification, which is annoying because that was supposed to have been taken care of in the upgrade process. Maybe there's another manual step I have to do, or maybe it doesn't work at all. That's something else to investigate. I'm happy that I've got my antivirus working and I've got Crossout working again, so I can play Crossout again, hooray, and do some more videos. But I'm not happy with Windows 10. Ever since Windows 8 and they moved to push updates rather than what was previous, the pull updates. If you found you had a bug, you went to Microsoft, you found the patch, you downloaded the patch, you installed the update, and hopefully everything was fixed. But you pulled it from Microsoft. Windows 8, they started pushing it to you, and now the user base has accepted push updates. Microsoft are pushing so much junk down the updating tube. If it just pushed, bug updates, bug patches, security updates, driver updates, things like that, that'd be absolutely fine because they're tiny. But no, it's pushing whole applications down at you and claiming it's part of the operating system, like Edge. Every time I booted into safe mode, Edge would come up. No, I don't want to Edge. I'm happy with Firefox. Thank you very much. I'm happy with Firefox because it doesn't track me as much as Edge or Chrome. And so I went into Task Manager and the Startup Applications, and there was Edge, right, disabled. Go back, boot back up into safe mode, and it still comes up again. Every time you go into safe mode, it boots up Edge. I don't want Edge. I don't need Edge. I've got Firefox. I'm happy with Firefox. Oh no, it's part of the operating system. Get lost. It's not part of the operating system. You've tried that before. Yeah, so all these bugs. Oh, and the worst thing was first I was shocked when I first got into Windows 10 and I saw a Daily Mail article in my taskbar. Excuse me? Daily Mail can go jump in the sea, and whoever put that there, Microsoft, they can jump in the sea as well. Now, I know a lot of my viewers aren't British, so for you, I'll explain. The Daily Mail sells itself as a newspaper, but most British subjects would not regard it as a reliable source of accurate information. It is 1 part political, 1 part celebrity gossip, and 1 part football. It's rubbish. I don't even want to wrap up my vegetable scraps to put them in the recycling in case the bin men see it and think I read the Daily Mail. It's abysmal, and for Microsoft to put it in my taskbar means I trust Microsoft an awful lot less than I did before. And with all this push stuff, I swear the number of devices and the number of services running on my PC, it's doubled from going from Windows 7 to Windows 10, and so many of it is stuff that I don't want. Xbox Overlay. What? Xbox Gamebox Live or something. I don't want that. If I wanted Xbox games, I'd go find an Xbox to play on. I'm on a PC. I want PC games. I don't want this. Why did you put that on there without my permission? Even worse, things like Office 365. That's been pushed down at me. Oh, try Office 365 for free. See, that's the whole point of the push updates. It's not to make you have a stable system that you don't need to worry about updating. It's all done for you. That's a good thing. What push updates are there to do is get Office 365 in front of you, give you a free trial, and then once you're bought into it and you've got your files on the cloud and I don't want to use this anymore. Oh, well, you've got no access to those documents that you did and put on the file. No, you've got to pay us now for that. That's the point of it. It's to pull you further into their walled garden. They've seen what Apple have done, and Microsoft want to copy them. And it just means my PC, my hard drive is being clogged up with loads of files I don't want. My PC is being slowed down with so many services that are running that I don't want and that don't need, and they're being updated all the time. On that anti-corporate note, let's end the video before I really start ranting. Bye! P.S. Go to my Discord server and then to my raid build competition. I need a new non-retro raid build.